American POWs tell their stories of captivity in Iraq as the Baker diplomatic mission scores in Syria and heads for Moscow.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Sitting in for Tom tonight is Jane Pauley.
Good evening. The war with Iraq was brief, but for the Americans captured during the bombing and fighting, time couldn't pass fast enough. Today, some of those who were prisoners talked about their ordeals. NBC's Pentagon correspondent Fred Francis reports.
There was no way to measure the joy of being home for the freed Americans, even if home for this week was a military hospital near Washington. The Navy and Marine pilots told how they were shot down and captured and of their fear.
And I looked back and there was a white-hot missile with a white trail of smoke coming at me really much too quickly.
I happened to land in a Iraqi infantry position, so there wasn't a whole lot of chance for escape and evasion training to be practiced. When they didn't shoot at me right away, I figured I had a fighting chance.
Many, like Lieutenant Jeffrey Zahn, one of the first captured, were beaten and forced to denounce their country on camera.
I think our leaders and our people have wrongly attacked the peaceful people of Iraq.
Today, Zahn said 90% of the time he believed he would be killed, but he never believed Americans would brand him a traitor.
As far as the Americans were concerned, I had enough faith in the Americans to know that anyone that saw this was going to go, that's ridiculous, you know.
Lieutenant Colonel Acree said the videotapes were useful as insurance.
It established the fact that we were indeed captured and alive, and there was some documentation where at the end of the war, if we weren't in that same condition, somebody would have to answer for it.
One of the freed Air Force POWs, Major Jeffrey Tice, told of his torture with electric shock.
Basically, I had some wires wrapped around my ears and under my chin, and was shocked periodically during early captivity when they were trying to coerce me into making a videotape.
For another, the pain was in thinking of his family.
And that realization that for a period of time my family had to go through somebody telling them that I might be dead, that was the toughest night of all of it.
Military officials say almost all of the POWs, from the moment they stepped off the aircraft to freedom in Saudi Arabia, have recovered rapidly with few emotional scars.
As soon as we crossed into Saudi territory, two United States Air Force F-15 Eagles joined up on either wingtip. Everybody was behind us. It was just the most emotional, relieving, and happy moments of my life.
Pentagon officials say they believe there are no more American prisoners in Iraq, and only 3 Americans are listed as missing and presumed dead, though the search for those 3 continues.